the unity and the redemption of the African world.
Salute them honorable Marcus
We were
Garvey.
not ready to listen then.
They might not have been ready then.
There's wonder whether we are ready
Ain't no doubt about it.
to listen
We ready, baby.
now.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah.
My flag fly high,
Woo!
flag fly high, my flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If
The flag fly high,
come on.
my flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
RBG's on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
My flag fly high,
Hold it high, let it fly. Rep those colors forever, Garvey will never die. On my 90, the throne ready, let's take a ride. Cats walk fix, men don't, choose a side. This is the path for the warriors. Seldom travel yet and still vainglorious. Black power represents us. You either rolling with Africa or against us. Ah!
my flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If
The flag fly high,
come on.
my flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
RBG's on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
My flag fly high,
The red is for the blood. I got the best stock, the rest got slugs. The black is for the gods, melanated and elevated, holding the main charge. The green is for the cradle. Africa, everything first, the earth's navel. His Excellency put it together as a symbol of liberation. That's how we get the letters RBG.
flag fly high, flag fly high, flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If
The flag fly high,
come on.
my flag fly high, flag fly high, my flag fly high.
RBG's on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
My flag fly high,
Been blind minds since 99. People army them know the time. I'll the drab on my design. We roll ready. Hard line. Ain't no games with that red flame. Triple stage of that black bang. Revolution in my veins. Till we free, I won't change. And you can count on that like an abacus. Celebrate the victories and the challenges. It's deeper than social media statuses. This lifestyle full of nation building practices. Yeah.
my flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
Black fists in the sky with the side to side. If
The flag fly high,
come on.
my flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
RBG's on the rise, all eyes will recognize.
The flag fly high,
That red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. RBG, I'm about that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RBG, I'm about that red, 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 that black, 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 that green, green, green. RBG, I'm about that red, 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 black, 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 green, green, green. That RBG, baby. RBG, baby. Come on.
fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high.
Shout out to all my RBGs worldwide. Doing this thing garbage style, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Flag fly high, my flag fly high.
come on.
Flag fly high, my flag fly high, my flag fly high. RBG's on the rise, all eyes gonna recognize. Flag fly high. Yeah. Black power. Black power. Oh, it's so for real, y'all. It's so for real.
Ain't got nothing to do with no Holy Quran. Ain't got nothing to do with no city called Mecca. He called you Muslim righteous by nature. Because before there was a Quran, you were righteous by nature. Before there was a holy city Mecca, you were a Muslim and righteous by nature. You were just making a holy pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. You were making holy pilgrimages to the sacred and the holy city of Abydos. You were making sacred pilgrimages to Ile Ife. You were making the sacred pilgrimage all over key points of Africa. And you understood the one God. You called the one God either in the feminine or in the masculine by different names. But you always believed in the one God long before there was a prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm at the crossroads in my life, but there are things that I cannot forget and I cannot put down. I believe with all of my heart that the white man is the devil, and I must teach that he is the devil. I cannot back down from that. I must teach that he is the devil. All praise is due to Allah. Whether you like me or not, whether you accept me or not, whether you condemn me or not, whether you suspend me or not, the goddamn white man is the devil, and I will teach it from the cradle to the grave. Always teach it. Because I know that you are a fickle people. I know that you are a flip-flop, wishy-washy people. I know that you are different strokes for different folks, but it's different ways on different days. Oh, yes, you are. Ah, damn it, if somebody don't continue to remind you, you'll try to walk in the slave theater with Susie Runwickle on your arm. Yes, you will. Damn it, sister, you'll try to come in here with Bob, Bill, Larry. Sister will try to come in here with Merv, with Doug. God damn it, Doug can't come in. Cindy, Kathy, keep Heather the hell out of here. No Heather in here. Hell no. This is the slave theater. Well, why does Brother Alton Maddox leave the name slave on it? Because, goddamn it, we're still in the land of our bondage. We're still in the land of captivity. We're still a slave to the Democratic Party, still a slave to the Republican Party. You can't even see a Freedom Party. You don't see it. You're a slave. I'm a slave. And unless we admit that we are slaves, then we can never get free. Never get free. The first thing a slave must do is admit I'm in bondage. Admit I'm in captivity. Admit that I'm a slave and Giuliani is a slave master. Admit that I'm a slave and Clinton is a slave master. Admit that I'm a slave and Cuomo is a slave master. That's the only way you can get free. Stop walking around acting hip, slick, cute, and cool with Oochie and Coochie and Poochie and Gucci and all that stuff. You're a slave. You can't wait to get out of here and get a good night's sleep so you can go to your elevator plantation tomorrow. You're a slave. You're a slave to your car note. You're a slave to your rent. You're a slave to your lease. You're a slave to your telephone bill. You're a slave to your light bill, your gas bill. You're a slave. And God damn it, this is the slave theater, and all the radical slaves come here. The Nat Turner slaves come here. The Harriet Tubman slaves come here. The Denmark Vesey slaves come here. This is the slave theater. All praise is due to Allah. This is the slave theater. I'm a slave. As I told Devil Hugh, Phil Devil Hugh, I say I'm one of the rebellious slaves. I'm not a peaceful slave. I'm not a compromising slave. I'm not a skinning, grinning, shuffling, scratching, boot-licking, butt-licking slave. I'm a slave that don't give a damn about you, cracker. Don't care nothing about you. Don't give a damn whether I see another cracker or not. I want to be free. I'm a slave who wants to organize the rest of the slaves. I looked at the crackers on 125th Street. Some of you trembled when you saw them. I was inspired. I couldn't sleep. I was dreaming of confrontation with the enemy. Every slave must dream of confrontation with the enemy. I want to organize some black men. What would have happened if 500 black men would have showed up on 125th Street? I ain't talking about with no damn picket sign. Huh?
All right, all right, all right. Wartime, black power, and the white man is the devil. All right, all right, all right. Hold wartime. Okay, there we go. All right, so welcome to the Black Survival class, Political Education and Survival class. And I'm your host, General King Samir Shabazz of the Khalid Muhammad Militia. And this week, Black family, I want to discuss subversive activity survival. And that's a very heavy degree. Subversive meaning the daily psychological operations that you don't see, that you may not even think about. Well, tonight we're going to tap into it just a little bit and we're going to break it down. So you have a clear-cut understanding on how to move, how to plan, how to strategize and tactfully complete your missions. All right? So before we do that, we must go in to our old day, to the flag. Let us begin. Here's to the flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in the future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it. Great nations shall know of it in times to come. Red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it. Great flag of mine. Here's to the black of it. 800 million backup, whose destiny depends on it, the red, black, and green of it. Oh, flag of mine. Here's to the green of it. Young men shall dream of it. Face shot and shell for it. Maidens shall sing of it. Waving so high, here's to the whole of it. Colors bright and pole of it. Pleased is my heart with it, regardless of what is told of it. Thank God for giving it. Great flag of mine. Ashe. Now, let's dig in. So get your pens and pads out. And I want to start. Let's start with the unseen of subversive activity. And tonight, I want to build from a great comrade of mine, a long-time comrade of mine, Brother Kabir Hadas. And I want to go into the unseen of subversive activity from the great book called African Struggle Inherited. All right. So Brother Kabir talks about subversive activity on the level of producing the ideal slave. Now, if that ain't some subversive shit for you. The unseen, producing the ideal slave, meaning the slave that's perfect. The slave that will defend America. The slave that will defend the white race. The slave that will die wrapped around the red, white, and blue. I'm talking about the motherfucking slave that will become an agent or an informant for the enemy. FBI, CIA, local state police, United States Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. The president, the United States government in general. The ideal slave. That slave who will disrupt and dismantle at all costs the rise of Black power, the liberation and true African sovereignty of Black people on a daily and consistent basis. So, the ideal slave is for grasping so much control that you could tell the slave to pick a booger and he's going to pick a booger and give you a tap dance along. The law in whatever state you're living in supports the production of the ideal slave. You don't believe me? Go to your local school board, to the Board of Education. Walk into that building and ask them Peckerwoods why there's no African-centered curriculum in the Board of Education. Why is there a multicultural or a diverse educational curriculum? Why does everybody have to be relegated over African people? And why does our babies have to be lowered to learn the superiority of these other motherfuckers? See, we got to take time to look what's behind the doors that you don't see. See, Sam Greenlee didn't make the spook who sat behind the door just for your entertainment. See, y'all don't even understand the title. The spook who sat behind the door. The ghost, the unseen one. But y'all ain't ready for that. So the first step to producing the ideal slave the absolute first step was to establish and maintain strict discipline. Establish and maintain strict discipline. How did that take place? They introduced fear into the mind of the original man and woman. They beat you out of your culture. They beat you out of your name. Huh? Your name ain't motherfucking Ronald, nigga. Establish and maintain strict discipline. Slaves were to obey at all times in all circumstances, cheerfully and with alacrity. Unconditional submission was the goal. Now, let's take a step further and go to the prison system. Because the same rules and regulations that applies for producing the ideal slave applies to producing the ideal prisoner. See, we're talking about subversive activity. What you don't see. See? So when you lack the knowledge of self, being able to not take everything on face value, you won't see these things. You don't see the equation in producing the ideal slave and producing the ideal prisoner. But watch this. In prison, we Africans are the majority, but as a whole, continue to submit to our enemies. Millions of Africans in the United States prison system obey orders during all of our time in prison. Think about that. Ain't nobody tell me what the fuck to do. A 20-year-old corrections officer, female, just joined the motherfucking force, comes into the unit. They give her a pod that she is now to run. This is her job. To watch and rule over black men who sit and say, ain't nobody telling me what to do. But when that 20-year-old black woman says, lock the fuck in on the child, right time, guess what? Your ass is following them instructions from a 20-year-old black woman who is now ruling black men. So we're now looking at the process or the processing of effeminization. It's this one CO who used to come in. Let me tell y'all this story. The CO, I gave her the name Man Bitch. And every time she come in on the 8 o'clock shift, 9 o'clock shift, you can hear her. She comes in, dyked to the bone, wears a skull face mask, and just tells everybody suck her dick, shut the fuck up, pussy. Just talks to the man just with complete disrespect. One night stood on the table and just talked so much shit to the brother. You punk ass niggas in here, y'all gonna suck my dick. I'ma come in and fuck every last one of you motherfuckers. And but this is, but Man bitch is white. But this is the mindset of the woman today towards the black man. Didn't Willie Lynch say put the black woman against the black man and the black man against the black woman? We're talking about subversive activity. One of the reasons that black men and black women obey is that we are disillusioned to think that the master is supposed to completely govern this system. We have become so damn numb from this oppression, generation after generation, that we don't unite and fight back. We obey cheerfully every night and day. My brothers laugh, sing, dance, and slowly die. The second step was to create a sense of personal inferiority. How do you do that? How is that done? Such things like showing in your early cartoons of the 1900s black characters with chicken bones in their noses. Or how about shit like Tarzan, the cracker of the jungle, can talk to every animal in the jungle and also tame the black man. Or how about your Cinderellas and Wonder Womans and your fucking Supermans, and how about Santa Claus and, oh, I got one. I got a good one. How about your faggot cracker Jesus? Setting the inferiority complex. All of your heroes are white. All of your sheroes are whores. Cave bitches. Everybody in good standing in the white race is fucking white and can never do no wrong. But the white man, as we are taught, is the natural devil by nature. Meaning ain't no good in this motherfucker. By nature. Well, how about miseducated an entire race of people, generation after fucking generation? How about teaching an entire race of people the nothing of themselves? Because that's what you learn. That's what you have learned. The nothing of yourself. That's why you see yourself to this very day in 2021 as nothing. That's why we treat each other in 2020 motherfucking one as nothing. It's so easy for us to put a bullet in one of our own heads. It's so easy for us to bang on each other. It's so easy for us to rob each other. It's so fucking easy for us to just blatantly disrespect each other. Because we was not taught the love of ourselves. We was not taught the knowledge of ourselves. So therefore, you don't understand yourself. You don't understand who you are. Because this white motherfucker told you that you are nothing. And you are to love it cheerfully. Remember that part. You're not even worth 3/5 of a human being. But we want equality for all people. The hypocrisy of you crackers. We can't even get 3/5 We can't even get 3. See, it don't say that we are 3/5. It says we're less than 3/5. So we can't even get 3/5 of being a human fucking being. And you wonder why you hate yourself? Who taught you to hate yourself? The hate that hate produced. This is it, man. I am the hate that hate produced. Your white hatred, your black hatred, pardon me, white man, has produced my white hatred and some black hatred. I'm gonna just be real, because enemy is enemy. See, I don't get color struck when it comes to my enemies. That's where a lot of y'all fuck up. Think because a motherfucker black, he can't be your enemy. Shit. We just talking some truth. That's all. We just talking some truth. So listen. Our ancestors were made to feel the difference between the place of the master and the slave. Every single time the all-white parole board denies another brother or sister parole, the inferiority complex tugs the soul. The devil looks you in your eye and basically tells you that because you are black and because I have power over your life, you are not going home to your family until I'm ready for you to go back, no matter how many programs you have completed or how much you have obeyed the rules without opposition. And this is what I'm going through at this very motherfucking minute. 10 years of probation. And they just keep doing the dumb shit. No matter how many programs I done graduated from, no matter how many certificates I done got, no matter how many protocols they said I had to follow to do certain things, and I completed that, no matter what I do. The state of New Jersey says, nigga, we got you by your balls. Shit is real. But does that stop me? Does that make me give the fuck up? Does that make me fold? Does that give me a superiority complex? Wrong motherfucking answer. See, that makes me go harder. You did? Because I understand white supremacy. I know this devil. I know what this devil is capable of doing and what he will motherfucking do when it comes to brothers like me. I've been going through it, and it's not going to stop because I'm not going to stop. Oh, I get locked up now, I quit. Yeah, I seen some of you cowards. White man take you to jail, give you a little charge, misconduct charge. Now you shaking in your damn boots, scared to death. Now you quit. Your superiority complex has been debunked. See, this cracker knows how to make you submit. And those of us who refuse to submit are very rare these days, because most of you motherfuckers have submitted to the rainbow flag. I said what I said. See, these crackers love the power of being in control. That's what oils their machine. That's how they continue to rule and reign over you. Your fear that they have instilled. They already know we ain't gonna do shit. but get on Facebook and talk some shit. Do a few YouTube podcasts and talk some shit. Get out in the street and talk some shit. Y'all see the pattern? As I said earlier, I said what the fuck I said. We got all these overnight revolutionary gun clubs popping up like goddamn Niagara Falls. And not one motherfucking cracker even been spit on. I said what the fuck I said. See, this is a game to y'all. This ain't no fucking game to me. I don't even understand or even see the subversiveness that you dealing with around you in your goddamn gun club. Full of bitches. Full of damn illiterate, ignorant ass, undisciplined motherfuckers who run around saying, can't nobody tell me what to do. Cracker gonna sweep you off your fucking dumbass black feet, fool. With your raggedy ass, unshined boots. This cracker's gonna sweep you off your dusty ass, crusty fucking feet. The third step was to train the slaves to be in awe of the master's enormous power, instilling fear in the minds of the slaves. So now every time you see a white bitch, you just drooling out the mouth. Every time you see these tanks of the American army, you just drooling out the mouth. Every time you see these new guns these crackers is making, you just drooling out the mouth. See, they're constantly programming to instill fear in you by constantly showing you their artillery, constantly showing you their millions of billions of dollars of firepower and things they're using or going to be using to rule and reign African fucking people. Hell, they use Jesus to make you submit to one white man. Trillions of African people submit, bow down on their fucking knees to one white man. Who's just as fucking imaginary as goddamn Mickey Mouse. One white man. But y'all don't see the subversive activity going on here? One faggot got trillions of African people. Yes, sir, boss. I always talk about the Teletubbies and the mind programming of Teletubbies. Go back to the archives and listen. Because these kind of things I've been touching on for the last 6 fucking years. And here we are at it again, but now it's right in your face. I mean, it's been in your face, but now it is blatantly in your face. Cracker just said, fuck it. And y'all still snoring. Still snoring. Don't get it. Listen. There's a small percentage of black soldiers whose especially long sentences, 30 to 60 years or life, that have no problem killing a guard or sergeant. George Jackson in reference. Now, I have seen guards get urine and defecation splashed in their faces as they check cells for prisoner counts. There are thousands of brothers who are doing life for bashing a guard's head in or jabbing his jugular with a whack. But the majority of us here in the belly of the beast fear the beast. And in many prisons, when white shirts, those are lieutenants or the captain, Joe, come on the block, you can feel the tension. Now, let me tell you, when these motherfuckers come on, niggas get in place. All the gangsters and shit, they get in place. White shirt, y'all tighten up. Everybody sitting down and ain't no bullshit going on. Everybody tighten up. The installation of fear. Fear is the #1 enemy of our liberation. Did y'all hear what I said? Fear is the #1 enemy of our liberation. Subversively. Subversive. Physically, the white race is our #1 enemy. Some of y'all may say spiritually and on down the line, yes, I most humbly agree. But we're making distinctions of a protocol. That's all. Another step was to reconstruct the slave as a helpless and perfectly dependent individual. 3 strikes to the head rendered the original man dead. The Haram Abiff story. I know that just went over some of y'all's head. Do the math. Do the knowledge. Another step was to reconstruct the slave. Reconstruct. That means break the slave down to absolutely nothing in which you now think you are today, which you now see yourself and your people as today. See, the shirt says, can y'all see that? I blame white people for everything. Reconstruct. So they made niggas in America. So the nigga is a factory-made machine, robots. Because you are not operating off of your original intelligence, not OI. You are operating off of AI, artificial intelligence. Because your original intelligence makes you that of God, not a nigga. Niggas was made or reconstructed. Hello? You with me? The slave in America of 2021 is a reconstructed slave who is made to be as a helpless and perfectly dependent individual. Come on, black woman, talk to me. And I'm gonna fucking say it. You are the most perfectly dependent individual. I'm gonna let that marinate on y'all just a little bit. I said what the fuck I said. The black woman is the most perfectly dependent individual reconstructed by the white race. Am I lying? Sisters, am I lying? Now this is the time to face your fucking music. This is the time to face the reality of oneself. Look at yourself. Look at your surroundings. Look at our people. Look at our race. Look at our nation. Look at all the programs that's offered to the black woman for dependency, disguised as independency. Even down to the fucking police force. Let a black man call the police and let a black woman, or just let a man call the police and let a woman call the police in general. But I don't give a fuck about everybody else. Let a black man call the police and let a black woman call the police. There's a different response. There's a different reaction, even by the dispatch. Y'all need to do knowledge. This shit is deep, yo. A lot deeper than what you may seem it to be. The white man feeds us, clothes us, washes our clothes, our sheets, gives us indoctrination through mandatory educational classes ordered by judges, gives us classes to supposedly cure us for our mental illness, which created the alleged crimes which we were captured for. Yes, the white man absolutely makes sure we as his prisoners are completely dependent on him, or we as his slaves are completely dependent on him. Any level of independent activity within prison or the plantation is always regulated and supervised by prison guards or the slave masters and the overseers. And the staff, same thing. We are allowed to purchase a select group of junk food, but the junk food which we are allowed to purchase is food that our enemy has chosen. So these direct connections are just minute examples of the slave-prisoner relationship. Just minute examples. See? Now, let's go into the slave labor. We're talking about subversive activity here. Don't worry, we got a few moments left. We got a few moments left, but we're going to build. So, the slave labor has been utilized to do what? Who can give me the answer? What was the slave labor utilized for? What was it put into effect for? It was put into effect, family, for the rise of white supremacy, for the rise of the white economic stature. Slave labor is $3.25, $4.50, $7.50, $10.25, $15, $25. Slave labor is slave labor. Because if you're working for someone else to build up their economy, their status, their fucking society, you're the slave, they're the master. Don't give a fuck if you're making $25 an hour, slave. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying be a broke motherfucker either. I'll never be that damn dumb to tell you that. But I know my enemy ain't gonna fight me and feed me at the same motherfucking time. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. No matter how many unions I try to get in, no matter how many construction sites I try to get black on, they're not. What? So I have to do for self. So Survive or Die Inc. had to become a business. See, this is now a business. King Samir had to become a business. So you want me to come on your radio program? You want me to come on your YouTube channel? $25 an hour. Y'all give it to these other motherfuckers for more, and they don't tell you a goddamn thing but some regurgitated bullshit. Mayat you to death. Hotep you to fucking death. Ain't no goddamn survival strategy. Ain't no war preparation. Ain't none of that shit coming out of their mouth. Why? Because they themselves don't fucking. But you do. Why? Because you've been in this class for 6 years. Many have come, many have gone. I'm still here. And even when I'm gone, this class is still here. Because it ain't about King Samir. This class is about you. This class is for you. It ain't for me. I'm already there. I done turned up America and turned America the fuck out. So even if I decided to use these words, retire, whatever the fuck that means, hey, I've completed the mission. I've reached the top of the top. I had the head cracker in charge of the United Snakes of America pissing in his fucking pants in his dick. Little old me from the hood. But somebody had to be an example. That's all, y'all. Somebody to raise the frequency, as Brother Divine always says. Listen, we're not even going to go any further into the slave labor. We're going to wrap this up because I want y'all to, because I know your brains are ticking right, and I want to keep it that. I want your brain to stay that ticking. So now you got to really look at yourself and say, damn, am I really a fucking slave? Are you still a slave? So we got a lot of mirror checking to do. Got a lot of self-analysis to do today. Because now it's coming to the time where we got to start weeding out the real warriors from the revolutionaries. We got to start weeding. I didn't say start smoking weed. I said start weeding the retributionaries from the revolutionaries. So now you got a side to choose. Are you a retributionary for the rise of African liberation to its totality? Or you just want to sit back and be a fucking cheerleader? We got some real thoughts to think here. What are your moves for the next 6 months? What are your plans for the next year? How much water you got stored up? Because your enemy is poisoning all the fucking water. everywhere he goes. Y'all better pay the fuck attention. But you're comfortable being asleep and you're comfortable sleeping. So what more could I tell you? The only thing I could tell you is I love you more than you hate yourself. I love you more than you hate yourself. Wartime.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them that in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a African. Yeah, y'all like that? So no more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm a African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the gritty.
Best developed by recognizing the common enemy.